Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. If you are a beginning bullet journal, welcome. And if you're like me and just binge watching your 7th YouTube video of the day, you're also welcome. So I can't believe it's already here. We are setting up February already. So we have a monthly spread that we have to get through. I'm using this Pilot Precision V5 pen. First thing we have to do when starting a new month is set up that cover page. So I'm keeping it simple. That's just kind of what I like to do. I like the elegant look that when it's just clean and simple, it's just perfection in my eyes. But if you want to get fancy and you want to make it yours, please do. That's the whole point of bullet journaling, is making it all about what you want. Now this is going to be the calendar page. 29 days in February this year, since it is a leap year. Now usually I would like to use a ruler on all of these, but I kind of wanted to see what it would look like if I just freehanded. And I don't think it turned out that terribly. There are some of the lines that I get my eye twitching a little bit, but it is what it is. And I felt the need to be a little bit more creative than normal, so this is what I ended up going with. 3.5 times speed, but it took me about 40 minutes to do all of these spreads, which I don't think for setting up a new month is that terrible. Something new that I wanted to do is provide options for habit tracking. That's something that I've been wanting to do more frequently for myself, is just to be able to track the habits that I'm using either on a monthly or weekly basis. I've seen some people do cycles where it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks in their bullet journals, but I wanted to come up with just a few different options for tracking habits. The first one here is just a simple month calendar where you can scratch off each day, or if you have one of those cool dot pens, you can dot each day that you actually do your calendar. This one is just, there's a square for each day of the month, 29 days, so it's super simple. Check it off if you got your habit done. And if you want more grid-like patterns, it's the same thing, but with just a grid. So this is another variation of the same habit tracker. There's 29 squares in there, for one for each day of this month. And it allows me to track the different habits just a different way. Also, grid pattern versus just open. Totally fine on however you choose to do it. Or if you want something a little bit bigger, these are 2x2 squares that I'm going to create 29 of them, or one for each day of February. if you want something a little bit bigger, these are 3 by 3 squares, 29 days. You'll have a few days left over for this one, but I decided to keep it as a giant square. It just looks good this way. So those are some different variations on habit trackers. What I wanted to create next was something that I've seen a few other creators do, and I decided I wanted to track it myself, which is a mood tracker, or just how I'm feeling that day. You can do anxiety tracker, whatever it is that you feel like you want to track in your day-to-day life. Something like this could be very helpful. So it's 20 squares across the top and 29 squares along the side. That way, 10 being a great day, 1 being a terrible day, you just track where you are that day throughout. You can either do a bar graph, line graph, however you want to track it is how you should do it. I just think this is a cool way to look back on the month and see how I'm feeling. And then, of course, a good old-fashioned brain dump to start the month. Just get everything out onto paper that I want to accomplish this month. Easy. Now this first one is just going to get into our first weekly spread for February. Each one of these rectangles is 12 squares down by 8 squares across. Side, I just decided to split it into different sections. There is really no rhyme or reason to how I broke it down. I did want a place to track my habits on a more daily version for this weekly spread. So while it is slightly redundant and I'll be able to track it in multiple places, I use this tracker just Monday through Friday, just able to jot down my most important tasks that day, or if I want to track like my water intake or things like that, I had a space for it. And then I have a good spot for notes, tasks, and a little spot for important reminders for next week. But this page is really open for your interpretation of how you feel you need this setup to look. For this weekly spread, I started 3 squares down, and then each square, there's 5 of them, is going to be 7 squares down by 16 squares over, and then the Saturday and Sunday squares are 10 squares across by 18 squares down. On the second side, it's going to be for tasks. I split it into 3 sections: a must do, a should do, and then a if I have time. So here's just a little flip through of our month. Let me know if you plan on using these spreads. If you want to make your own, I highly encourage that. A bullet journal is something that's meant to be for you, and you only. Take what you can, leave the rest. These are just some tools and ideas that I think are useful. Really excited about the mood tracker. Hope you have a wonderful week. Let me know what you end up using in the comments below, and if there's anything that you're needing help planning out. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.